This blue dot's going on the air. Looks like he's going everywhere. With his pet Jenny and his blue dot family. Travis is his tech guy. Put that blue dot in the sky. On his first Naruto run. Looked like this blue dot was having fun. He is not a mouse. Moved from the shop to the house with Marsha and his clan. This blue dot is the man. Travis is his tech guy. Put that blue dot in the sky. Looked like he was having fun. Look like this blue dot is gonna run. He likes to say every day in his own special way. Are you shitting me? And he loves his blue dot family. We love John, he is the man. And we love this special clan. We are a blue dot family. And we like to be free.
Hello, family. Thank you, T.W. Travis. Family, it is Sunday night, so of course we got a family meeting going on. I want to thank everybody showing up. Dwizzle Snizzle jumped right in there, followed by Oddly Wired. Monica Burns is here. Joy Peters, David Negengard, John Heron, who did a little piece earlier today. I hope you got to see that. Adino Michael and Donna Bonacosi, amongst others. Bill Jones, Robert Casero, Pepsi Max is here. We are appreciative of everybody that shows up and watches the show and gives us your precious time. It's the most valuable thing you have, and we are very happy that you share it with us. Anyway, what in the hell's been going on? Well, ain't it been an exciting weekend? I hope some of y'all maybe got to see my little 8-minute rant I did yesterday, kind of unexpected. It was bubbling out inside of me. I didn't have anything else to do but to let that sucker go. And I could not believe the news about Devin Nunes going to Vienna to meet with Shokin. I think it's Victor Shokin, the disgraced ex-Ukrainian prosecutor, to dig up dirt with on the Bidens and on and concerning the Ukraine election meddling in 2016. This is bullshit to me, and it really upset me. And you really need to pay attention to when this happened, because it tells you a lot. Devin Nunes made this trip shortly after the 2018 midterm elections. All right, Congress is out. New elections have been made. There's new congressmen coming in. Before the Congress seated itself, that is when Devin Nunes took this trip, so he wouldn't have to report it to the Congress. That makes him complacent in this whole damn thing from before Democrats actually took the Congress. As I understand this, that's what they said, that his trip was shortly after the 2018 election. Now, if he's going over there in 2019, let's say, early or late, I don't know what month. This tells you they were planning this. This is another attempt to manipulate the 2020 election the same way the 2016 election was manipulated by the Russians. And we're supposed to just what with this information? Just shake our head and go, gee, Devin Nunes, he's a real asshole. Yeah, that's to say the least. That is to say the least. I'm thinking that somehow this has got to be a criminal matter because he sat up there on this impeachment inquiry with his sanctimonious look, his degrading tone of voice every time he spoke, like the Democrats were just chasing up a tree and we made up all this stuff. And all the time knowing that he was right in the middle of this shit, that he knew it was a bunch of bullshit, that he helped propagate it. That says a whole lot, baby. This administration has shown itself to be exactly what they are, a bunch of criminals. And I feel that the more it goes on, the more we're going to see. There's a lot of people that haven't even come out yet, baby. And you know the pressure's going to be on. When this thing goes to the Senate has the ability to call witnesses, subpoena witnesses, and people like John Bolton and Mike Pompeo. Mick Mulvaney will be on the list. Will they come? Shit. Your guess is as good as mine. It points towards obstruction of Congress. It points to obstruction of justice. It's been the same thread all the way through this administration. Ever since the man opened his mouth the first time, of course I want to show you my tax as soon as the audit's over. It's a bunch of bullshit. Everything, damn thing the man says is a pile of crap. As a matter of fact, later on this evening, I want to be off the air at our time, 8 o'clock, because Mom and I are going to sit down and watch the CNN special this evening, All the President's Lies. And it's just something that's been planned, and I want to sit down and watch it. I want to get a good chuckle. This thing, we get a good laugh out of this, all this crap, but this is not laughable shit. This is our republic. This is our country. And we're seeing the worst situation possible. A corrupt party within our government. And that's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. There's going to be some major Supreme Court decisions coming down soon that are going to impact his ass even more. And it's going to tell the tale. Lord, Ruth Bader Ginsburg went in hospital. It just, my heart can't take that, Ruth. Please, baby, hang on. And Mom and I got into that discussion, what if today, and oh, Lord, have mercy right now, if anything were to happen and that man were to get another pick on the Supreme Court, it would just show the pure hypocrisy and obstruction that is Mitch McConnell. Because remember, the last time this happened, well, we couldn't do it because, 1 year within the election and all that shit. And now we have an impeachment inquiry going. You reckon Mitch McConnell would give a shit? No. He would move to put somebody on the court real quick. Because I think that Democrats' days are numbered. Their lack of patriotism, their lack of courage is on display for the whole world to see. And I hope everybody is paying attention. I really do. Anyway. Jen, are you home, baby?
Yeah, I'm home again.
Good deal.
I got readmitted about 18 hours after I got home last time. Whoa. And the heart's been doing some bad stuff, and they think they have it straightened out now. They have me on all kinds of really nasty medications. But my heart's not beating 180 times a minute.
So you've calmed down
so I can
a bit?
actually, I don't have to pass out or anything like that.
Well, we're glad to hear that. We're glad to hear that. You put us all through a scare there, don't let's.
Well, they put me through a scare too.
To all our blue dots, try to stay as healthy as we need every vote we can get, baby. I'm greedy.
Yeah.
We need everybody in this fight. So take care of your health, and Jen, we're glad you're here.
I will do my best.
There you
and
go.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg got out of the hospital today.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. But she's scaring me. That woman. I just hope she lives to be 120. She's a tough woman, and has a proud history, baby. Proud history, and we're all proud of her. Anyway, Velda, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing just fine.
Yeah.
Hey, since you got such a short time, why don't you just go ahead and pull Eva into the room?
Oh, is Eve up there? There
Yeah,
she is.
because it's so late for her and she maybe go away.
Ah, Eva, are you there, baby?
Take and unmute.
She's
Eva.
she's there. She might be walked away from a minute. How about you, Dennis?
No,
Are
she
you there,
may
buddy?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. We got all our moderators in the room. How'd your weekend go, Dennis?
Still recovering. Back on the meds. I got
Mm,
another flare up, so been dealing with that. But
well,
at least no hospital visit this time.
well, good, good. Please, all of our blue dots, stay out of the hospital. Stay healthy. Eva, are you there, baby?
Yes, I am.
How are
Yeah,
you?
I'm doing all right. I'm pretty exhausted. It was a very wild weekend,
Well, happy
but
birthday, belated.
thank you very much. I,
Yes.
I got your messages and it was great.
Well, good.
Um, no, it was a difficult birthday when you're in the
Right,
process of saying goodbye to your brother
right.
and
Yes.
couldn't be there, but I was able to have contact with the family and
Hmm.
there was even a mutual friend who did videos of the church service, so I got just
Wow.
be a part of it, which was
Good.
really moving.
Oh, I
But
bet
that's
so.
not the way you want to spend your birthday, I tell
No,
you.
no, it's heartbreak. At that time, it hardly feels, you know, like celebrating. But
Yeah.
like I say, I hope you had the best day that was possible. And
Well, the thing was, I usually get together with my son and my granddaughter on Sundays anyway.
right,
Um, and so I just invited a couple of other friends and bought some turkey because he's going off on a tour, so we could do a nice early Thanksgiving dinner.
oh,
And today was great.
wow,
So
Wonderful.
made up for it. Made
good,
up for it.
good. I'm glad to hear that. Yes,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving's knocking on the door, baby. I can't wait. I'm ready. My stomach's ready.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this
Well,
stuff.
yeah, I tell you, I've got that turkey in my belly. Boy, that was good.
Well, I'm gonna have
That
to wait
was
a few
really
more
good.
days, but yeah,
Yeah, well,
I'm
that's
ready for it.
I'll have leftovers for Thanksgiving.
So you really haven't had time to catch into any political activity, or have you?
Oh no, I still have time to follow it. I know too much on that.
Yeah, yeah. You're
Uh,
like, I know it.
you know,
It's like a drug. You're waiting on that one big high when he gets, you know, booted out. Uh, but
well, yeah, I don't know anymore. It's just so painful with watching what the Republicans are saying. It's
it's true.
just
It,
I
it
think.
it kills me because Fiona Hill pointed out that it is a Russian propaganda machine that's pushing that whole Ukraine 2016 thing.
All of it,
Yeah,
all of it.
and we're watching our.
I mean,
Go ahead.
when you figure what was going on with Shokin and then Firtash and Parnas and Fruman and Giuliani all working together. I mean, the
Yeah,
entire conspiracy is a hoax.
yeah, yeah.
It's all a hoax, and they were all after Biden because
They knew.
Firtash was so mad at him for going after corruption.
Yep.
Well, the same with Shokin.
Yes. Yeah.
So you've got these oligarchs that are sitting there that are trying to bring down uh, Biden for their revenge, and this just works so well for Trump, to for his campaign. So, and there's how much he Firtash probably put out a good million or more
Oh.
dollars to pay for the whole scheme.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I get so frustrated because that connection is not being really explored by the mainstream news.
Yeah.
It gets mentioned here and there and a little bit, but
Yeah. It's not the big
it,
story.
it, it has not come out
Yeah. Well, we're
on
not
the
done.
scale that
We're not done
you know
seeing a
that's
lot of things come
that's
out.
for
I
sure.
think this little information about Nunez coming out
I love it.
Yes, I do too. Because everybody hates Devin Nunes anyway. He sits up
But
there
he
like
met
this.
with Shokin. He
Yes.
met with Shokin. This is
Yes.
outrageous.
And not only did he meet with him, to me the telling tale is when he met. He met in 2018 or 2019. I don't know. It was after the midterm election, but before the Congress seated. So that's how far back this plan went into effect. Was being propagated. Yeah. This is before the Democrats, after they won the House, have taken the seats yet. They're not even sworn in yet. You know.
Yeah.
So
remember how surprised the Republicans were? They lost the House.
Yes.
They were devastated.
They were devastated, and then they knew they better get something going for 2020 because it would look bad. It looks bad.
And And they hid all the paperwork.
Yeah. Oh, well, talking about paperwork, what was it? I just seen something on CNN about
American oversight.
Is getting it. Oh, it was the emails going back and forth at the time between, I think it is the Office of Management and Budget and Mick Mulvaney, when OMB, I think it is asking, where's the money? Where's the beef? And so there's conversation going back and forth, evidently, and those conversations, I think, were turned over. I'm not quite positive.
Yeah, this watchdog managed to get a hold of this stuff, which really surprised me, because the Congress can't get a hold of it, but a watchdog can, And my speculation, but I haven't read up on the details, was just that they had a different judge. Yeah. I don't know. And I don't know exactly what's going on in the State Department, considering there's quite a revolt going on there too. So,
the problem, I think Pompeo's already seeing the handwriting on the wall. That's how come it's already being hinted that he's going to have to leave to go back and rescue his seat in Kansas. That's Mitch McConnell is afraid he's going to lose a seat if Mike doesn't go back and take Kansas, and I just think that the Nunez cow is out of the barn. Mike Pompeo is going to be wrapped up in this so deep. He's going to have a hard time, I think, trying to go back and take a seat. S.C. Smith, are you snuck into the room, buddy? I see your name.
I did, sir.
How you doing?
I'm here. I'm doing good.
Good.
How about yourself?
Oh, keeping up with all this stuff, man. I thought I was going to get my Saturday off, wake up and see that kind of news.
Yeah, I caught your rant yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I don't blame you. Don't blame you.
I was on the Tim Cormal show earlier today. Right now, it's up on. I shared it on Facebook, and you can find his show on Stitcher and everywhere else you can find a podcast at the Tim Cormal show. And he played a pretty good sized part of that rant today on his show because John was pissed. John.
Yeah, you were. I'll have to go back and listen to that. I seen you posted it earlier. I just been busy running around and so I'll check that out later on.
Well, there's two reasons I was pissed in that video. One, Nunez, and two, it was the second time. It wasn't the first time. The first time was much better and covered other items too that I was pissed about. And I went to go upload, get
basically put, this is why I'm here.
Yeah. I go to get the video and I go to look. I always double click on it to see how long the video is. How long did I go? Well, I double click it and I see 1 second. 1 second? What? And I hit play and it's just me looking down over at the keyboard and that's it. That's all you see. So I think what I did is I hit that. I'm supposed to hold down control and hit the space bar. I think I held down the control and hit the space bar twice, real fast. So I turned it on, turned it off, real quick, and then ran it and rated for a while, and then found that out, and so then I was really pissed, and but it disappointed me because I hate to go back and do it again because the first time's your emotion, the second time you're going back to repeat what you just said.
I can understand.
Yeah, it gets very, very frustrating when I do it, but I don't give up, baby. That's me.
There you go.
I'm persistent. I don't give up. But Eva, how are we looking over there? Are we getting any hope on the international side of things? Or are people starting to say, hey, they're starting to wake up over there? Or they think we're all just going to hell in a handbasket?
That's something I'm not following really well, but I asked my son because he always surprised me how well read he is because of the fact that he's constantly busy. Right. But he knows that this and that is going on. You know, he saw that Fiona Hill was a great witness, and
I was very impressed with that woman.
So I get the impression. I mean, I have not met a German who likes Trump ever.
Right.
So you know,
that's good news. That's good news. Well, I hope they all know we're working our ass off to get him out.
Berlin is a pretty multicultural liberal city, so
yeah. Yes, I would imagine.
It's not necessarily reflective of the entire country, but I've seen polls that he's very unpopular, and I can't imagine that
I can't imagine him being popular anywhere, except within the certain section of the Republican Party.
Republican Party.
Yeah, that's the only place he has a haven nowadays. I don't think there's a place on the earth that sports his ass anymore.
They've got their bubble.
Yeah, they live in it too.
That's where they live.
Fox feeds them all the time. And, and it's sad, but it ain't over. It ain't over. I think we're going to see a whole lot more fireworks before this all goes up all the way to the Senate before it gets there. Because now it's it's going to go to the Judiciary, who is going to have to draw up the articles of impeachment, and then after that it goes to the House floor, where it will be voted on and passed, because we have the numbers. And not only that, it's true. It's a fact. The charges that he's going to be put on are going to be solid, provable, with evidence. So, no.
I saw one commentator. Well, it was actually just a voter or something like that. In one of these times when they're surveying the voters on CNN or something, and he was saying, "Well, if I see statutes that he's really committed a crime, then I'll start to consider that I approve of impeachment."
Yeah.
And I thought that was very interesting, and I would like to see the statutes as well, and I think it could make a big difference, especially with independents.
Yeah.
When they start reading out the numbers,
Well,
statute da 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 da.
Since I started this, and we've gotten into this, I've always said that Nixon wasn't impeached. Well, he resigned before impeachment, but he didn't go until after the Republicans in the Senate started to turn against him. This thing hadn't even gotten out of the House yet, out of the House of Representatives, and senators were already weighing in, telling him it ain't looking good. And the Senate is different from the House in respect of the Senate carries a little bit more weight. There are only 100 senators. There are 409,462 congressmen. It's like wrangling cats down there, and they have a lot of places to hide. I don't see my congressman at all anywhere. Michael Cloud, not to be seen anywhere in this. He doesn't want to get in front of the camera to defend this shit. He knows it's indefensible. So there's a certain number of congressmen, senators that do say something, but not enough yet. Not enough.
Oh, definitely not Lindsey.
No, Lindsey Graham.
That video with the veteran talking to him.
Yes. There's a Marine veteran trying to ask him.
That just pisses me off.
Well, too many of them are too deep in it themselves,
Yes.
Oh,
it's a big problem that these oligarchs have been donating so much money, whether they're American or former Ukrainian, Russian, or not.
Right.
It's a lot of really ugly big donor money that's involved.
Yeah.
And And besides, if they bring down Trump, it's like, and they've been following along with the lies. I mean, at this point, it's really, really hard to back out.
Right. Yeah.
But it's the worst racket we've ever seen in the United
It's
States.
the first I've ever seen it in my lifetime.
Such a horrible government. Never.
The degree to which this administration is going. When you throw in Barr and Pompeo, Rick Perry, who all of a sudden disappeared on us again, these.
Well, he was quitting.
Yeah. He was quitting. All right. He wanted out. Like a lot of them, he sees what the handwriting on the wall is. He will not survive a second term. He won't. If it gets there.
No, he already resigned. It's just a matter of when he.
I meant Donnie. I meant Donnie.
Donnie. Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah,
well.
if we stand true as a nation, he won't. But what am I talking about? He got elected. He got elected the first time. That's always the wrench that we throw into this. Well, John, he got elected the first time. Everybody said he wasn't. Yeah, I know.
And it could happen again.
It could happen again, and that scares the hell out of me.
Because Donnie knows when he ain't president no more, his ass is in a sling.
Yeah.
Hell.
Yeah, as soon as he leaves office, I believe.
He ain't going to leave.
Dennis, what the hell did you post?
I was just looking at one of the JBS posts, and that was there an hour ago. And it's frightening. It's frightening.
You're talking about Schiff saying that he hasn't decided yet?
Yep.
That's just. I heard them talking about this on MSNBC. It's not a big concern. It's a basic way for him to create an impression that he's neutral and hasn't made up his mind a long time ago, the way all the Republicans have accused him of, and he.
I see. I'm looking at the story now.
Yeah, Schiff is. He's decided in his heart, but he just wants to be cool about how he does this politically and how he looks in his position.
He's still trying to look like he is an impartial judge on this committee.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not a big deal.
No. I'm just reading it right here, and I don't read anything into it other than him trying to uphold the appearance that he hasn't made up his mind yet, and he's going to talk to his constituents, which any good congressman should. But if you go home right now and your constituents are telling you, I don't see nothing, buddy, you need new constituents. Go ahead, Bella.
But if he comes back.
I thought contested read consistent with my bad glasses. And that's why I said, oh, crap.
No. Boy, howdy. Nunez threatens to take CNN Daily Beast to court over story about meeting with Ukraine. Well, let's go, baby. Let's go to court. Let's let's call the witnesses. I understand this photograph. That's what I understand. Where'd I read that at? Well, don't count that as true, because it might just be something else I'm thinking of. But let's call Lev Parnas to the stand and find out what he has to say.
Yep, there's your smoking gun.
Well.
I don't know. He's not a very credible witness.
He's not.
But I would like them to at least behind closed doors deposition him, and if nothing else, get his documents that he claims to have. Yeah. For sure.
And then Bolton said that he'd testify if the judge said that the other guy could testify. And and that he will testify, and she's moving it up.
Well, I hope so, because I call bullshit. John Bolton no longer works for the government. This is up to John Bolton to testify. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to ask permission from anybody.
It's because of the executive privilege argument.
Wow. Well, then
I don't know.
I would say I'm answering the subpoena, and if Donnie wants to claim executive privilege, let him do it publicly. But I haven't seen that yet. But I just think
A lot of people think it's because of his book. He wants to keep this suspense going.
Well, that's what pisses me off about the whole thing. If you want to
Of
put your
course.
book sales above national security, what the hell does that tell me about John Bolton?
Exactly.
Your priorities are out of place, buddy.
But that's true for the whole bunch of them. That's true for all of them.
Yes, it is. It is. Those people up there on that panel, they're supposedly a lot smarter than us. They're not stupid people. They've been to college. They've been through this routine. They know exactly what they're doing. They know he's guilty. They know there was a quid pro quo, extortion, bribery, whatever you want to call it. Yes, there was. And that's on top of everything else that we know about him. So every time I see a Republican coming out there, hee-hawing around about, I just don't, kiss my ass. You're a liar if you don't see this president is corrupt. Right, Keith? Keith is our man in Minneapolis. Oh, he's got his mic.
Yeah, and he's mute.
He's muted.
He's muted.
That's all right.
Oh, that's Catman.
Yes. Yep. That's
Okay.
That's Keith. He's up in Minneapolis. He's up in the cold country. The beginning of it, anyway, as far as going that way. But, I'm sure he's there.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Keith. How
It's
you
been
doing?
a heat wave.
Yeah, heat wave,
Good,
huh?
Good. It's been 39 degrees.
39. Oh, heat wave. Get the bathing suit out,
That
bub.
is
I don't want to tell you what
Open
it was
the
here.
windows.
What did we get up to today? 70 something. It was like started out a little cool this morning. We went up to 70 something. Tomorrow I think we're supposed to hit 80 something. So that's our winter.
Tomorrow is going to be 42 to 45.
Oh, it's going in the right direction.
I might jog around one of the local lakes
All right,
in a tank top and my shorts.
Yeah. Okay. There's a limit to that shit. You just mentioned jogging. I ain't jogging. I quit my running. Unless something's chasing me, I ain't running no more. My knees wouldn't take it. Ain't it pitiful? You get old and your parts start falling apart and shit. That's all right. They got new ones for me waiting. That's what I'm waiting on. Get my new ones. Anyway.
How about that shoulder?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's getting bad. It's getting bad. I wake up every morning. It bothers me pretty bad. So after the holidays, after Christmas goes by, then I'll tell the doctor, okay, let's get the saw out. Let's do this shit. It's something I'm gonna have to deal with sooner or later. So, do what you got to do, I guess. It's better than hurting all the time. But
Have you tried acupuncture?
No, I haven't tried that yet. This morning, like I told Marcia, she could put her hand on my shoulder, and if I move my arm, you can actually feel, and I can hear that bone-on-bone clicking. And
Ouch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's right there. But enough of my suffering. That ain't nothing. We'll deal with it later on, though. But, want to get to the end of the year. Because I want to see this impeachment go all the way through. We're supposed to be done by the end of the year, so Merry Christmas and all that stuff. I don't
Well,
know.
depending on whether or not there are new witnesses and new things open up.
Well, there's a lot of
and,
things too. It's only 8 days. They have 8 days, 8 working days between now and Christmas. So I don't know how they're going to.
Well, they're working behind the scenes. That's one of the things that's going on.
Yeah, well, I hope they're working
I mean,
diligently. Yeah.
The committees are.
Right. The work goes on. But yeah, the only thing I can think is because it's already gone through the Intelligence Committee and it is supposed to be forwarded to the Judicial, does not mean the Judicial Committee cannot call witnesses. They can. So we could end up with another round of witnesses in the Judiciary committee.
And Nadler's the type to do it, too.
Yes, he is. Nadler knows what he's doing, as Schiff does.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's getting to be a whole thing. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, who did the Republicans want to call as witnesses? That's what I wanted to know. They say they have witnesses, and
yeah, they want to call Hunter Biden and shit like that.
The whistleblower.
The whistleblower. Yeah, those are the ones that they want in front of the committee.
I thought it was somebody else besides those two.
Nah. The rest of them are all on the take with these, as far as I can tell. I guess everybody on the Republican side is on the take. You know, right, Dave?
They're all on the take, mate. They're as crooked as each other.
I'm telling you, the whole damn crowd, it just looks like a crime family. You know,
I just don't know why it was not game, set, match, game over, thanks for coming when Devin Nunes was exposed as being involved in it. I mean, the arsehole sitting on the bench abusing and having a go at witnesses.
Yeah.
You know, and why wasn't a game set and made? Why isn't he? Is he still going to sit on there? Is he pissed? Is he going to get?
That's the big question. That's the big question now. What is it going to happen now? Because well, for one, the hearing in the intelligence branch is over, I guess, as far as I know. They gavelled it closed. I don't know if they can reopen it or not. Maybe somebody could check that. I'll watch the chat. But like I said again, the Judicial Committee can call witnesses. Wouldn't it be nice to call Devin Nunes?
Yes.
What I find so hypocritical about this is Nunez and his now known history, and Jordan with his history, will disrespect two proven loyal Americans in Hill and Lieutenant Colonel. Those are the people who are going to point fingers. Are you kidding?
Yeah. That's what's so. The disgusting part of this is to watch the GOP and the right-wing media nut jobs over on Fox and all that bullshit. How far they go to disparage these people. A lieutenant colonel in the Army, active duty, decorated, Purple Heart.
Bone spurs.
No bone spurs, not one amongst them. And dedicated foreign service agents that have been in this country, been working for this country their whole life. And their loyalty is being questioned. Their patriotism is being questioned. We don't know about you.
More integrity. They have more integrity in their little finger than Donnie has in his whole body.
That's that's what pisses me off because, like Fiona Hill, she worked for John Bolton.
Fantastic.
You know,
she was awesome.
She
was so fantastic.
I told Marcia that woman should run for president. She can't, but she ought to. She is a naturalized citizen and an immigrant, and that shows you the power of immigration. Lieutenant Colonel Vidman shows you the power of immigration. You know, as the right stands around and decrees immigrants are nothing but savages, MS-13 going to kill your mother and screw your daddy, it's all bullshit. These people come here to make a life just like every patriot that has ever come in our history has an immigrant in their background. They immigrated to this country.
They're actually often more patriotic and more aware of the Constitution than regular Americans.
Yes.
That's the truth.
That is the truth because Marcia, I don't know what channel that is on, whatever she watches. It's where they ask people on the street, typical question. They'll hold up a picture of Pence and say, who is this? Can you name a state that borders Canada? And these, you know, that's sad. That there's people walking around out there who ain't got 2 cents worth of, you know, they're really nice people, but they don't know shit. And what happened to the educational system that let that happen?
Yeah, well, you know, there's a border wall. There's a border on Colorado. The Mexican border is on Colorado.
Yep.
What do you expect?
And we're going to build a moot. We're going to build a
John,
new.
some of these people don't even today believe Obama is a real American citizen.
Yes. They're still, and I've said from the beginning of my first show that this Trump presidency started the day Obama was elected. The hatred, the racism that came out of that, and was fueled again by the Tea Party movement. This whole the holding up signs of Obama as a witch doctor or some bullshit like that. The disrespect shown to that president, it lit the fire, and then go through all that crap, and then here comes Donny Boy with the birther movement. Oh, that feeds right into it. The Tea Party and all those racist assholes and all that shit, the deplorables that Hillary talked about, all those people, they loved it. And then that movement built up, and then they were fed Donald Trump by the Russians. Here you go, baby. Here's a little red meat for you. Here's some hate, some racism that you can relate to. Because that black guy in the White House right now, he ain't American. That kind of shit. That's what brought us Donald Trump.
I watched on CNN last night a pile of people being interviewed in Florida, and they were people that were not interested. They actually went to this cafe, and these were Trump supporters, and these were women, and they were not interested in what was going on. These were their words. Not interested in what's going on with the current impeachment hearings because Donnie's their man.
Yeah.
So I've taken from that, there are people in the world that deny the Holocaust ever happened. Well, these people are no different.
Yes.
Oh no, definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah, I know. I'm in Florida. I know exactly how they are.
Yeah. Again.
They don't want to know the facts. They're scared of. It's almost like they're scared of being converted or being convinced that
they would have to admit they're wrong. They would have
cognitive
to personally
dissonance.
admit.
Cognitive dissonance.
Yes. Yeah.
Hard-headed.
Yeah, they're not. They don't want to give up because then that would be admitting that they're wrong, that they weren't intelligent enough to recognize this shit. They'd rather hang on to what, till the dying end. And that's why I always ask that question, really, with all of these people. You're willing to fall on your sword for this guy? This is where you take your stand for your life?
Cheap suicide.
Yes.
John,
yes.
The more and more I ask myself the question on why they would do that, what benefit are they getting to throw away their legacy, their career,
their
like
career,
everything?
Their dignity?
They must be getting something immense.
You would think.
No, not really, because basically what's going on is the whole operation is known how to target them for their particular interests. Whether or not it's anti-abortion or anti-regulation or anti-immigrant.
Right.
They've all fallen for something or another that he's strong on, or the Republican Party is strong on. And, they also like the idea of somebody being a strong. They like this authoritarian type of strongness.
Well, I mean, they were, from day one, he handed the keys to the prison to the prisoners with his cabinet.
Yeah.
He turned the inmates loose to control the prison, and that's who we've had, running every department just about since he has taken office. Look how many times we've gone through a chief of staff or a defense secretary. We go through them all the time, and they're not the top of the barrel, baby, anymore. Like Donnie said, he knows the best people. Yeah, no.
But the thing is, we have to stop getting so overwhelmed or concerned about the Republican fanatics and really let ourselves open up and go for those independents and those young people and those minorities, and really keep that as our focus. Keep the movements You know, there are so many organizations, including the Democratic Party, that we need to continue to join and support and be a part of, because when we grow that way through enthusiasm and being positive, then, you know, it creates a situation where really these fanatics are still under 30%. And we are always consumed with them, and we have to get off of this constantly being consumed with how stupid they are.
And I am first one to pop up and say guilty because of my anger, the way I produce. This comes out of my mouth when I do a rant. I don't really give a shit if I'm hurting anybody's feelings at that moment. I'm speaking my heart, my truth, what I think, and shame on you for supporting that shit. But on that same note, I recognize the fact, and I occasionally throw it out there, that there are Republicans, there are conservatives that have had enough of this shit and have sought out, you know, the other side, baby. That's us. And we need to be welcome to them. We need to, you know, maybe not so be abusive to their prior choices, and that's something I guess I got to work on, baby, because like I say, mine comes from an anger. These family discussions, they're a whole lot more milder because it's a group discussion, and I'm concerned with how y'all feel and how this family feels, you know, as a whole group, and not just me. So that's how come I try to keep my rants separate from the family meetings, is because this is all of us. My rants are just
a common goal.
Yes, a common goal.
A mission.
We have a direction to go in. You know, there's not a person that's listening to this right now or is in this family that does not have a deep concern for this country and in the direction it's going.
That's right.
You know, and we won the popular vote when Hillary ran. We know he won his landslide electoral college by a slim margin in few states. So we know all of those things. We are the majority. And the thing is, we have to motivate all those people to come out and vote. When it's time for you to vote, you must do it. And this is too big a deal here, too big a stakes. You know, life changing.
Guys, a thought, an old time issue, but it is very important.
What's that?
A lot of people are being denied their voting rights, and I think that's a battle that we should address.
Well,
they tried to address it. It's sitting on McTurtle's desk.
Yes, Mitch McConnell's sitting on it, as he is with damn near every piece of legislation the House has done since they took over. Again, with the obstruction. That's Mitch McConnell's game.
It's upwards of, 250 bills now?
Oh, I thought it was
No, it's more like 400
now.
now.
I think it's about 400-something bills the House has passed that Mitch McConnell is sitting on. This is a game to him. He had no problem holding up the Supreme Court for Obama. He had no problem standing up and saying that he wanted to make sure Obama was a one-term president. He had no problem standing up and saying we're going to obstruct him. That's the problem. Mitch McConnell has the courage to do all of that. We need to grab the courage to knock his ass out. He is not the ruler of this world, of this country. You know, and he acts like it.
We passed a bill here in Florida to give back felons' rights to vote.
Right.
And,
I understand that.
And the Republicans are blocking it, and it's going through court, and that's bull because we voted for it. We said we want it. It was unanimous, but yet it's still out there because the Republicans got to do their fuck it up, basically.
Republicans don't care about democracy and what the people think. You know, they're totally disinterested.
Their views
that's
are
not what
dying.
they're working for. They're working for
it's just
their
the money.
donors.
It's just the money. That's all it is.
Yep.
It's just the money.
Yep.
Greed.
But it's enough to fear this in this country.
Here's the fundamental difference is that the Republicans have a price, but no conscience.
Yeah.
See,
The Democrats take that same money, but they have a conscience. Or at least some of them.
Everyone says greed, greed, greed. Greed for what? Greed for what?
For money,
There's
for
a point
power,
where
for prestige.
But there is a point, John. There is a point where you look at yourself and you say, "I've got lots of money, I've got lots of power, but if I carry on this path, I'm heading to jail." Now, where's the logic in these intelligent men?
That's a very
in the way
good
that
question.
they're handling their lives. I still swear to God, when they go home at night, these men and these women, that some of them, not all of them, but some of them are copying a mouthful and earful from their partner saying, "What the fuck are you doing with that idiot? You know, what are you doing protecting that fool? What are you doing?" I'm sure that like Carrie Ann Conjob, her husband.
Yeah, Conjob.
You know, some
Conjob
very
was
unstable
right.
households amongst these politicians, I'm sure.
Well, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for some kind of a patriotic feeling to go through the Republican Party. I just
It's
think
not
I'm
going to
waiting.
happen.
Not gonna
That's what I
happen.
was figuring. I think
Oh,
I'm waiting
wow.
for nothing. What?
They had the chance and they didn't take it up.
No, they
Oh
haven't.
Yeah.
my goodness.
They
There's
can see it
news.
in their faces right now. and
Yeah,
they
it's about to
can't take it
approach,
out.
Dad. Give it 1 second. Don't spoil it. I'll let it come in. I got the update, but
What's that?
it's taking a second to kick in here.
What are y'all
Are you
going to
get the news,
Right there.
Travis,
I
or
guess.
am I?
Oh, Magda Archbold donated $5 through Super Chat. Trump just fired the Secretary of the Navy, Eddie Gallagher, and that is true. That is
Are
true.
you kidding
Thank
me?
you very much, Magda. We appreciate it very much. It goes a long way in keeping the lights on the internet going. All the support does that we get. We appreciate it very much, and he is right.
Wow.
Yes, Navy Secretary
threatened
Richard
to
Spencer,
quit.
the Secretary of the Navy, has been removed, and the Defense Secretary
Why?
Mark Esper is the one that did it because
That seal that
Richard
they-
Spencer, Secretary of the Navy, stood up and said that that the Navy, through its own discipline channels, you know, the case of Chief Gallagher, he's a Navy SEAL, that was
tried for war crimes.
Right, he was tried for war crimes, and I think he was acquitted, but
On some of them.
on some of the charges. But some charges that he had a picture taken of himself, which is against the policy, with a 12-year-old ISIS fighter
with a knife
that he had just killed with a knife, and he had his picture taken with him. But the important part of this story is his fellow Navy SEALs on his team are the ones that turned him in and testified against him. The Navy SEALs and anybody in the military, baby, when you're on a team, you are responsible for upholding the honor and dignity of that team.
Yep.
Not only your service; these are your buddies. These are the
And the
guys that
Corps.
have your back, and that's right. And this man failed to do it, and he was up on war crimes. So he didn't get punished for that, but he has to be disciplined for the infractions that are obvious in front of everybody. So they were going to take his trident pin, meaning he would no longer be a Navy SEAL. He would not be he would still be active duty. They would just take away that pin because he dishonored the service. You know, if you look at the SEAL emblem and you see the trident, what's notable about that symbol is the eagle is bowing its head. He is humbled in service to his country. It's a big freaking deal, and it beats in the heart of everybody that served. And this man betrayed it, and they were going to take his pin, but Donnie jumped up and said, "No, you're not. You're not going to do anything. He's a warrior. You can't discipline." This is not Donnie's position. He's the commander-in-chief. He can do this, but he is jumping in the middle of a decision through the Uniform Code of Military Justice for actions that he took that brought dishonor to his group, the SEAL teams. He took that picture. He did more than that, and they know it.
Well, Not only that, they just weakened the country, the military, and the confidence they had in the Secretary of Navy to do his job.
What a fool. What a
This
fool.
is the power of a wannabe dictator. You know how Mark Esper's in there. Mark Esper's in there because the guy before him quit because he wouldn't serve the asshole. So he had to get somebody. Mark Esper, I think he was in the defense industry. I think one of the Boeing or somebody, I can't remember right off the... He was a lobbyist. And he got the job as defense secretary, and he's going to do whatever Donnie tells him to do. Dishonor the Navy? Hell yes, he will, and he can kiss my freaking ass. It's a disgrace. You want to see a dictator? That's the way it's going to be. Donnie's going to decide who is guilty and who is innocent. It's not going to be a trial, a court, or anything. It's going to be a Twitter feed. That's what's wrong with this freaking whole deal, is our government is being run by way of Twitter. By an asshole that can spit anything out of his butt at any moment, and we're all supposed to go by that? Really?
Let's be fair here, John. Our government is being run proxy from Russia.
Yes, it is.
This nation is being run by a man who deferred 5 times to serve his country.
He was a coward.
Yet he has the nerve to disparage our men and women in service.
He has no problem with it. He has
else.
no, in his mind, he's holding up an American fighting man. But what is he saying to the millions that are serving and have served? What message are you conveying as a commander in chief?
You can break the law, and I ain't going to do anything about it. You can just do what you want.
He has the power of pardon. It's the same way with his political, hacks. They know he has the power of pardon.
I didn't have the honor of serving, but any patriot knows that a good soldier follows orders.
That's what we do, baby.
And he just destroyed that.
He did.
He did.
I don't think he destroyed it all, because I have a feeling there's a great many out there that will literally disobey a direct order.
Well, you're allowed to disobey an unlawful order, and that's right. That is what is. It keeps me being able to sleep at night. Is the fact that I know that those that out there that are in command of serious hardware, baby, nukes and stuff like that. You think they're going to launch just because Donnie tweets out something? No. Would it be a mutiny? I don't know. It depends on the circumstances. We don't know what would happen. But I know if I was serving right now,
too blue.
I would not feel comfortable with him being my commander in chief. Would that affect my ability to carry out my orders? No. And Keith and every other serviceman knows, man. Doesn't matter what your personal opinion of anybody is. The chain of command is what keeps you alive.
Let's think of this also. He is some sort of leader, and he has sway in the SEAL community, correct?
Yes.
Gallagher?
Yes.
So the guys that turned him in, how is it going to create a
that's
cohesive unit?
He's just lost. It's sort of like when Donnie fires somebody and he says, "Well, you've lost the confidence of the president." Well, Chief Gallagher has lost the confidence of his team.
So it's going to cost lives, and he doesn't even care. That's the long and short of it. It's going to cost lives in the end.
Well, war always costs lives. Anywhere these guys go, it's
unnecessarily.
Chances are, but they do it with a sense of honor, and they don't do things like that. They don't. They don't murder somebody with a knife. Right? You just, as I understand, I don't know. I can't speak to what happened. I just know he was done with him with a knife, and then rapidly took a photograph with the body. And it was
also said that he was recorded before or after shooting a mother and daughter.
We are? Yes. I'm sorry, Keith.
See, that's why I can't show you. I just wanted to, I had to share data Didn't want to interrupt the conversation, and I should have known that would distract Dad because he has the attention span of a squirrel.
What?
What?
No. Dog? Squirrel?
No. So he's been looking at the chat over here, and he's like thinking, "Oh God, we're not streaming on Facebook." No, we are streaming on Facebook, but for some reason we're not getting the comments in on that app over there.
Thank goodness for that. Let me explain then. For a while now, I've been looking over at that screen, and I have been watching comments going by from Dawn Petty, Randy Curvin, Miss Nomad's in there, Sarge Tech's in there. But one thing is missing. That's all YouTube comments, and the Facebook comments disappeared a little while ago. So I'm thinking, oh shit, they dumped us again. And I'm going in my mind, well, why this time and all that. But so thank you very much. We are still streaming to let those people out on Facebook know. I cannot see your comments for some reason. The comments have been cut off on here. So
remember, Zuckerberg and Donnie are talking.
I'm telling you. I try to stay away from conspiracy theories, but yeah, this is starting to stink because it's affecting me in several different ways.
John, this is interesting. I Googled Secretary of the Navy fired.
Right.
And most of these stories are about 2 hours old. But Fox News reported this story 5 hours ago.
Oh, gee, did they have a scoop? Did they have a scoop?
God. I just saw it on CNN.
Every other network is within like 2 hours, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours ago, and then Fox News 5 hours.
I knew it at 5. I knew probably around 5
Trump
o'clock.
probably called Fox and Friends and told them personally, "Hey, I just fired this guy."
Yeah. Here's a heads up. Let you go. Did y'all notice he called in to Fox and Friends in the morning the other day? 57 freaking minutes. Rambling on
because he was just going on like a nut job.
Yes.
Lying the whole time.
That was crazy.
Yes. That's what's so damn disgusting.
How many times does that guy go?
Not doing the work of the people, baby. I'm telling you that much. You know, sits there all day watching TV. That's what he does.
But if he's going to be dishonoring the military by signaling that war crimes are acceptable,
right?
There's going to be backlash. I hope, because I mean, Pete Buttigieg, he pointed it out, and did it in a really great way. Yeah. And I think that there's a point, where this whole thing is so hazardous to national security.
It is.
That you're going to end up with a revolt in the Pentagon the same way you've got the revolt in the State Department. And
these are career
people. I think
people.
Putin wants that, and he works for Putin. But I mean, there's a point where there's the Republican Party has got to stop tolerating these attacks on national security.
It's something Putin would do, like he did with Ukraine. And now look at the Miss Iran. It's happening here in America with Donnie being the learner of Putin.
Well, remember, Russia is just Russia. Russia taking Ukraine, that's the beginning of the Soviet Union again. And that has always been what Putin wants. Putin came from the Soviet Union, baby. He watched it disappear. He wants it back, and he wants to be the one to bring it. And that
he was
and then some.
Yes.
He was a KGB man right here in Berlin.
Yeah. That's what I mean. How can we as lay people out here, how can we all sit out here and see this and hear it on the news, hear these stories, check it out on the internet, go do your research and all that stuff. You check all this stuff up, and we know this. How is there not just a multitude of people out in the street in Washington, D.C. every day pounding on the gate, get out of our house, you Russian whore? Because it's everything points at this. But, again, we're looking at a whole party that is now involved in this.
Exactly.
This is not just, Nunez didn't go there to go meet with this guy all by himself, think it all up by himself. No, there was a room full of congressmen and senators possibly that were talking about, hey, you can go over there and try to get some dirt there. We're going to need some help here in 2020. Why don't you go find out? That kind of shit.
Yeah.
And it was planned and plotted this whole time. They talk about
I'm wondering.
They're talking about the Democrats. Oh, well, they've been wanting to impeach him ever since he got elected. Yes, that's true, because we saw what kind of disgusting, and we saw the handwriting on the wall. But this is just a conspiracy, and you have to wonder how far it goes into the party. Gats, is Johnson involved?
We're saying that Ukraine is one of the most corrupt countries in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, we're trying to give them a run for their money, apparently.
Evidently. Aren't we teaching a fine lesson? Aren't we being a shining city on the hill? A 1,000 points of light shining on one asshole going, there's the idiot that's doing it. You know, we've never. People have thought, the thing I read the other day about going through all the presidents in our lifetime. All of them. Even the ones we hated. I hated George W. He was an idiot. Embarrassed the hell out of Texas. But here come Donnie. And we have never had anybody like this that has disgraced this nation so much and still have a 80-90% approval rating within his party. What does that say about the party? That they are willing to accept this bullshit, these lies, this conspiracy, this sham. Am I supposed to trust the next election to this administration? I am having difficulties with that. We all talk about, well, what's going to happen at the election? I don't know, because I can't trust the electorate. I can't. No, that's the wrong word. I can't trust the system. The way we vote. The electronic machines and shit. With as much hacking as I see, you go on TV, you can go on and look up what's that hacking club that hacks.
That's the reason I was talking about
4chan.
getting behind these movements. You know, Jane Fonda was interviewed last night.
I saw that. I saw part of
that. That was really great. And you know, she said she's learning from these young people, and you know, don't try to go as an individual, or don't go it alone. Join the movement.
Yes.
You know, however it is, and you know, we've got the Blue Dot family, and
oh baby, we're a small family compared to what's out there. But we
I know,
we are what I call it.
But nothing is more important to me than the Blue Dots, because this
is our family.
You are in a situation where, you know, you're around all of these people that are crazy.
Yes, I am. They're putting up banners up and down my street just to make sure I know who they are.
Yeah, and it's really, really hard. But the more courage that you give to Blue Dots to speak up and be active and find other ones and join them and get together, you know, that is making a difference.
Well, I appreciate that, Eve. I really do.
Well said, too. Well said. Thank you.
Yeah, really.
This is, I encourage everyone to use their voice as much as they can. But I also take into effect that there are people that have jobs where if you do this, if you open your mouth, you're going to get you're putting your livelihood in jeopardy. And I do hear from people that have that concern, that they can't use their name, they can't be identified because they're in the same situation I am, except I'm retired. I don't give a shit, but they have to be. And excuse me.
Yeah.
Encourage everybody
There's only one way to fix the problem is voting that. He's not going to be.
We can't rely on Plan A, which is get his ass out by impeachment. We have to go with the ultimate. We have to be prepared to vote his ass out in a landslide. It has to be a significant a landslide, or he's going to call into question everything you ever saw in your. He's going to call his mother or whatever. She's out of the grave to come back.
Even a landslide, John. Even a landslide, he'll turn around and say, hang on, something's not right here. I couldn't lose by that much. I was too popular.
Well, part of the discussion today earlier was, does he have the power to cancel elections, to postpone elections in some way? Well, only if there's martial law is the only way he could postpone an election as far as I can find out. I don't think it's possible, but, you know.
That won't be hard for him to do. He just agitates his base.
That's exactly right. And now
nothing surprises me.
That gets us into that question of, well, is he going to leave if he loses? because of the possibility that he could incite riots, that he could incite his base, his bikers for Trump and all that shit, to come up there and
they're just waiting for it.
Yeah, some of them are. Some of them are asking for it and wishing it happens. That's the part that scares me, and that's what tells you that this man needs to be removed. If he is willing to incite Americans to go out and shoot their fellow Americans for the benefit of his ass, then we've got a very bad problem in this country that's going to take decades to fix. It's going to take a generation to fix this shit.
Hey, you guys.
But that's the reason. That's the reason why these public servants that we just saw, speaking out as boldly as they did, were so important and showing that there are these revolts going on, and they're not the ones that are really dedicated to the system for decades. They are not going to allow that kind of thing to take over. I really believe there's a lot of really, really good people within the system that are holding him back from exactly that kind of worst impulses. He's trying to get rid of them, but they're there. They're there.
These people that stood up and came to testify are courageous, and they have shown what being a servant, a government servant, means. That you serve this country. That you're not just some bureaucrat that has some getting. No, these are the people that shape our world for us, both in the military and in the foreign service, in our ambassador corps. These people give their lives and their staff around them. This is what, and these people stepping forward, I hope encourages others within areas that know things to step forward. John Bolton is being shamed by the people that worked for him. And every day that he sits there with his little Twitter feed trying to entice people into his book, look at me, I'm Sandra D, I know something, I'm going to say something, I'm going to do it, look here, but first buy my book, kiss my ass. That's not being a patriot. That's worrying about your bottom line and your how much money you're going to make. We need people.
Of books.
Huh?
Speaking of books.
Speaking of books.
Have a freaking the Republican Party spend $96,000 on Donald Trump Jr.'s book.
How about that shit? Just buy up a bunch of Donnie Jr. books. Almost $100,000. The Republican National Committee spent buying Donnie Jr.'s books. Hello, payola, baby. Yeah. And they're talking about the Biden. Yeah, exactly. This is how the system works, though. This is the RNC giving Donnie Jr. a little payola here. A little something here for you, Donnie. Here, just go out there and play with that for you. Go shoot you an elephant there or something, son. That's what that is.
Now.
What are they going to do with all them books? Hand them out at the convention or some shit? It's... And again, what book I have? I'm not about to read the damn thing. I have no interest in it. I got enough books over here I'm trying to get through. Good books.
And more books. That guy that wrote Anonymous, he had written in one of his chapters that everyone felt a bit of comfort around the White House, knowing that there were people that were in the White House, nonpartisan, that had been there for years, served many presidents, that were making sure things were sort of kept to an even keel. But now, John's got rid of most of those, and they're gone, and we're in for a deeper bit of concern.
Well, I'm telling you, people, we still have a ways to go. We're still going to see more fireworks come out of this. We're not done yet, as we've recently seen with Nunez and Lev Parnas and others that are going to come forward.
And anniversary week.
Yeah, it's going to, the work goes on. I understand they're out for the holidays to go back to their constituents. And Donnie, I tweeted back to Donnie, and I said, you pulled this out of your ass just like everything else you do. That was my response to him, amongst other things that I said to him in a tweet. When he came out telling on his Twitter feed there that thanks for the impeachment because the Republican Party numbers are just going up, up, and up. And then he wrote another one saying these Democrats are facing hell from their constituents back home. Go impeachment or something. You're like, it's bullshit. He pulls shit out of his ass and he writes something like that. Like, oh, where'd you get that? Where'd he get that information that Democrat congressional members are being harassed by people back in their district? It ain't happening. There ain't no news like that. He pulls a story out of his ass and throws it out there. It's just a little story, but it's enough to go fan that flame. Yeah, look at there. Even the Democrats are getting, but their own party going to go against them. No. It's just another lie that they're going to continue to try to say and distort anything they can for as long as they can. For them, it's a matter of delay and deny. But justice delayed is justice denied. And we can't let this hang over our country. This has got to come to a head. The disgraceful behavior of this administration, it cannot go on. It hardens
thinking of the blue wave attitude of each other, for each other we are one,
yes,
needs to be pushed out into the red areas so that they can at least wake up.
That's true, and that's why I am what pride I take in this, and I'm a firm believer in, and I've mentioned to other people that do this, that voices from rural areas, from the flyover states, the middle of the country, these are the voices that are really important to be heard, because there is so many that say, well, this is a red state. Yeah, Texas is a red state. Well, it's more purple right now. We're looking for blue, but you don't give in to somebody else's narrative of what you are. You change things. It is important that we have people in every state. We need 1 million voices that will not yield. That's what we need. And every one of us that speak up and say something and get other people involved and motivated. The bigger the family grows, the more the web grows out, that there's a cohesive effort to get people to be informed and recognize what's going on.
Exactly, John.
That is what this is about, baby. I say it all the time. I'm a cheerleader, baby. You can put pom-poms in my hand. I'd be doing the same thing. Except I'm a little pissed off cheerleader, but you get what you get.
With a cigar.
With a cigar, baby. It's my effort to try to raise the flag, to ring the bell, to get the megaphone and try to shout that this will not stand. We are a nation of patriots that will stand up for it. I believe that. I believe that. And as long as I keep that in my heart, I'm going to keep saying the same thing over and over and over. This will not stand. I will not yield a voice. No. Every day. Guy down the street can flip me off all he freaking wants. I just wave back. How you doing? Good morning to you too, asshole. That's the way it is.
Well,
Yeah.
You've already got a couple of red dots down on YouTube now, anyway.
Oh well, welcome to the club here, baby. Y'all step right in.
They're from what Bernadette was talking about the other day.
Yes. There are Republicans that will not put up with this shit. It's a disgrace, and I would rather leave if it was the other way around. I would leave my party and go to the Republican side if the Democrats were doing the shit that I see here. In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Yep.
Because I want to stand on the side of my country.
They won't vote at all. They just won't vote. Instead of voting Democrat to solve the problem, they just won't vote, which is part of the problem.
Well, that is a big problem.
If they get a chance to vote,
yes,
that's a good problem right there.
And as it was brought up, the Republicans' ability to try to stymie the vote, to prevent people from voting, is a big problem. And to gerrymander district is what happened to me. It's what happened to a lot of them. There was a story about Asheville, North Carolina, that the city is split down the middle in different districts. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't make any sense. It's not about making sense. It's about the politician being able to pick the voters. And it's tied up like that in a whole lot of states. So there are a lot of issues that we still have to deal with besides just voting this guy out. We have to make sure that we have the right to vote, that your neighbor has the right to vote. And if he's having trouble for some bullshit reason, try to help him out if you can. Point him in the right direction if you know. Let him know.
Get people registered early, and so that they can make sure
Yes.
that they're actually, registered.
Right, because
I
there will
can't
be a lot
remember.
of. Go ahead, Billy.
I can't remember which state it is, but you guys know which one it is. You guys just got voter registration cards that you have to get, and then they close the voter DMV in the
Yes.
areas where
Yes.
low-income people live.
Yes.
So please take the people places to get their
Anyway,
cards.
as a citizen, if you can help somebody else, make sure that they not only that, and it should be just like anything else. If you see a friend in need, help them. Help them.
Yes.
I don't care if it's changing a tire or getting them elected. It's our society that we have to change, and we need to do that more often. We are our brother's keepers all the time. Well, thank you very much.
Is it illegal to take more than 2 people in your car to the voting pool?
In Texas, yes.
I love his name. I love this. We just got a $20 donation through Super Chat that says love from Blue Dot in Pennsylvania, from PA, and his name is Old Bat Two Cats. Old Bat Two Cats. I love it, baby. That's me. I'm gonna be an old sucker with you. It's that old sucker down the road there's got all them dogs and cats hanging around. That's gonna be me. Old Bat Two Cats, we appreciate that tremendously. Thank you very much. Those donations go a long way in keeping us on the air. I'd be on the air anyway, but at least it allows me to pay the bills and put food on the table and all that kind of stuff. This is all I do nowadays. And so if you have the ability to make a donation, we appreciate it. If you have the ability to join our Patreon, $1 a month, those are the names that you see going by. We appreciate every one of them so tremendously. And they're in our heart. And we thank you very much. I want to thank all of us for coming in the room. Dennis, Eva, thank you so much. I know it's late over there, so we want to get you out the room.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock in the morning, baby. Thank you so much for coming. Belda.
I get a free day tomorrow. It's okay.
Oh, there you go. A little sleep in late. SC Smith, we appreciate it. Keith, always, buddy. Belda, we appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.
No problem.
We love this Blue Dot family. Just do the things that we need to do as good citizens. Stay informed. Stay involved. Our nation depends on it, and we're asking you from our heart. That is the most important thing we need to do right now. Y'all have a wonderful night. Tomorrow starts out a new day. I'll have another rant tomorrow. Outside of that, I'll see y'all, the family, again on Tuesday night for the next Family Blue Dot meeting. We want to thank all our Facebook and YouTube family and our Twitter and Periscope fans, family, for coming by. It's the most important thing you give us is your time. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.
See you, John.
All right.
Good night, all.
Thanks.
Good night.